Okay, so we've been married 32 years this June. Woo! And he just shared a lot of what happened, 6, 7 years ago. So I remember before this, we call it our crash story, right? Before this crash story, we went on this cruise. And you think, wow, how romantic, you're on this big cruise ship. And I remember we were standing out on the front of the cruise ship, looking at this gorgeous sunset, blazing orange and gold. I'm standing next to my sweetheart, and I'm thinking, I wish we were holding hands. Like, we were not even holding hands, and we're in this beautiful romantic setting, and this whole 7 days we're on this cruise, I felt disconnected. And I didn't know why. And he shared with you, there was stuff going on. There was stuff going on in his mind, and he talked about energy, and I felt that energy, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't explain to you why I can't stand on a cruise ship and hold my husband's hand, and we were intimate, but it kind of felt like more of a chore. We just were not emotionally connected. There was something going on. Now that any of you have ever felt that way in your marriage, I won't ask you to raise your hands. But what I want to teach you now, a little bit about thoughts. He mentioned thoughts. And how many of you feel like thoughts have energy by raise of hand? Thoughts are things. Have you ever heard thoughts are things? So when we look at creation, everything starts in the mind with thoughts, right? Spiritual level, and then it's brought to manifest in the physical realm. And so what I want to do here is we're going to do a fun little demonstration to show you that thoughts have energy. But first, I just want to draw this up here because there again, he talks about connecting the dots, right? As we teach things today, we'll connect things. So you've heard of thoughts, and they create feelings, and then we choose an action, and then we have results in our life. And let me start out by saying, if you can remember this, I can't even remember, I have to look at my notes. I believe we have 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are similar to the same thoughts we had the day before.
It's men have 12 and women have 60.
And that's one of those things that maybe that applies to you or not. And about, I think it's 90%. No, I don't know why that's not in my notes. It's probably somewhere else. Anyway, because we're actually going to do more stuff about thoughts later. So anyway, you get the idea that thoughts are things. We have lots of thoughts a day. And what we're going to have fun here after this next little piece is we're going to teach how it's super important that we be aware of our feelings even before the thought level. But what I want to go right now is the thought level, because most of us do not pay attention to what's going on in our head all day. I mean, 80% of the thoughts, the same as that we had the day before, we're not paying attention, okay? So what I want to do is a little bit of muscle testing. Now, my bio, Julie mentioned, I'm certified in energy healing. And if you think it's a woo-woo thing, that's okay. We'll educate you, right? Because my husband was that way before I learned about it and got trained. But he talks about the dark matter, he talks about energy. We could get really scientific, get into quantum physics and tell you all about how it's real, because 80% of what's out there we can't see with our naked eye. So let's get into this thought thing. But let me just start out by saying we're going to use some muscle testing, and I'm kind of prepping you because I'm going to get, I think we have time for a couple volunteers. I'm going to get a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you're married or not married. In other words, it's not going to necessarily be a couple, but I'd like a man and a woman. Who's familiar with muscle response testing, muscle testing, or kinesiology? Okay, I'm sure I have some fellow energy healing people in the group. In fact, my dear friend Luana Lay back there, we went to a training together years ago. 10 years ago. Wow, that's incredible. And she's very gifted when it comes to this as well. So just to kind of give you a background on muscle testing, there is really a scientific explanation behind it. Back in the 1960s, Dr. Goodhart, a chiropractor, developed this technique, and what he would do is he could touch people on certain parts of their body, test if they're strong or weak, and if they were weak, that would show there's a block in the energy. So then in the skeletal system, he could see, oh, there's a block in this part of your body. We need to adjust that so that the energy will flow through there. And it worked really well when it came to physical testing on the body. Well, what we've found, it works really well when it comes to testing on the mind. Because there's things on a conscious level that we believe. My husband has mentioned truth. We think that these things are true, right? And there's things on a subconscious level that when we tap into that, we might find that you say, well, I understand that money doesn't grow on, no, let me rephrase it. Let me grab one. What's a money one? Oh, there we go. I understand that money is not the root of all evil, but maybe subconsciously because of things that happened to you in your childhood, experiences around finances, parents saying money doesn't grow on trees. Those people got rich because they're thieves and liars, okay? So there's all sorts of stuff that goes into our mind when we're little. We don't have a filter, and sometimes it gets stuck in there. So on a conscious level, we might say, oh, money's not the root of all evil. But when it comes to money issues and how it manifests in our life, if we could tap into the subconscious and see, maybe you do believe that it's evil. And I'm not going to go into money because that's a totally different topic. We're here to talk about marriage, right? And improving our relationships. But here's a few examples of things that might be like in our subconscious. So you have to work really hard just to scrape by. So that can come from parents, grandparents, ancestors. Debt is part of life. And now let's get to the marriage. Marriage always ends in divorce. Maybe my spouse always does this or that. Like we have this ultimatum, these thoughts that my spouse always does this or that. How about parents always stick together even if they're miserable and they're not really getting along? Life is hard. I caught myself saying that one day. Life is hard. I'm like, wow, really? Is life hard? So there again, when we think about truths or lies, as he said, when we find that we're in pain and misery, we know there's some lies present, okay? Okay, I have two more. You can't count on men. They will always leave you. And women nag. Who's for that? I worked on a gal one time that wanted to get married, and her first complaint was that men and boys were just awful. Like, wow, and you want to get married? Let's see. I think we need to change some of that. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm trying something new today, okay? And don't be nervous. These guys are getting some free energy healing, you guys. But they're going to show you how thoughts have energy, thoughts have power, right?
Okay.
Have you been muscle tested before?
I went to a chiropractor who did a little bit. I was going to work for him, and he was showing me what he was going to do.
Cool. So you're familiar.
A
Right.
little bit. He
And-
called it muscle regeneration or something.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
Yeah.
exactly the same thing.
MRT, muscle response testing, kinesiology. There's different names for it. Tell me your name.
Robin.
Robin. Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Get
you
your emails. And this is Tom, right?
Thomas.
Thomas Marsh. And are you familiar with muscle testing? Will this be, I think your wife.
I've become acquainted with it over the last.
She raised her hand.
Wow, yes.
So familiar. Oh, fantastic. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you scoot this way, Robin, just so we
Okay.
have some space.
Okay.
Now, are your shoulders and arms, if I use these, feel good?
Yeah, there. Okay.
Okay. So this is the funny thing. I'm testing two people at once. I've never done this before, but we want to get you to lunch on time, so we're not going to test separate, although we might for a few things. So it's really, we'll do a basic test. So they're going to put their arms out straight. They're going to keep their elbows locked. And I simply am going to put a little bit of pressure on their wrist. And they're going to resist a little bit. So they should test strong. And that's all the pressure I'm going to use. I'm not going to be going like this, right? You'll see that I'm not using my body. And I'm just going to have them simply state out loud. She will state, I am Robin, and he will state, I am Thomas. Then I will test them, and we'll see if that's strong. Okay. So go ahead. I am
Thomas.
I am Robin. Do I have to keep?
Okay, now that's good.
No,
Just
no,
one
it's
time.
okay.
Now I want you to say, I am Christy, and I want you to say, I am Dan. Ready? I am.
Dan.
Okay, now he went weak, really. So you go ahead and say, I'm Christy.
I am Christy.
There we go. So you see it wants to go. So just let it go. So as
Okay.
they're kind of getting the feel of it, if they feel they're going weak, then that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the lie. That's not Christy. That's not Dan, okay? Let's see. So I want you to just go ahead and the state that you live in, go ahead and say, I live in.
I live in Utah.
Oh, yay for Utah. Now say you live in California. I live
in California.
So there you go. See how easy that works? So if you have children that lie to you, my kids hated me when I come home. I'm like, really, come here? And they're like, no. It works pretty well. And once you get the hang of it, practice this on each other, husband and wife, right? So let's do one more test. Is it confusing if you say how many children you have?
No.
Okay, because some people, if they've lost children and things, sometimes they're like, well, how many do I really have? And how about you? If you have a number of children, just
I have different numbers of children.
well, let's,
Like I have mine in steps, so I just include
Okay.
all together. I have 7.
I have 5. We lost one, so we had 6. She has 12. She lost a bunch, so I
okay,
don't know where
we're going to do something different with you. We'll do separate.
Yeah, his arm's going to be going.
That's confusing. We're going to start with Robin. So Robin, go ahead, put your arm out.
Okay.
I want you to say, I have 12 children.
Okay. I have 12 children.
And I say, no, you don't. How many do you have?
7.
Okay. And see, she had a little bit of a give. Some people do, but now say I have 12.
I have 12.
So some people are a little different. Some people are real strong on the beginning. All right, we're going to do something over here with Thomas that'll be fun. Do you have a favorite color that you can say, yes, this is my favorite color?
I have influences of colors. I like.
Okay, no, don't do that. Do you have a favorite dessert? Like your absolute favorite? Oh, boy.
Men don't have a lot of favorites.
what are
That's
they
what kind of
serving
car he
today?
has. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, let's do the car thing, okay? So what I'm going to do is have you say, I drive some kind of a vehicle, and I want you to either you can lie first or you can tell the truth first. So in your mind, you're going to think, I drive, what vehicle do you drive? But then think of another one, and I'm going to let you choose which is the truth or the lie first, and then we'll get to see what he drives, right?
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go ahead, and then you just say, I drive.
I drive a Hummer.
And if someone laughs, you know they're lying. All right, let's see what he drives. Let's try it again.
I got 3 cars.
Yeah.
I drove a Prius today.
There we go. Nice and strong. See that? So very good. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Because this is what I want to show you guys is how important our thoughts are. How important it is what we think on a subconscious level about ourselves, okay? And we're going to teach you some things here this weekend that are going to help on that subconscious level if you do them. So, the things that we will be teaching, some of the things might be familiar to you, but a lot of times we're like, well, yeah, I've done that before, I know. But I'd say, well, do you do that? And I promise you, everything that we teach you guys this weekend, we have done in our own lives. It's part of why our marriage is better now, almost 32 years than it ever has been. Seriously. That's what we're sharing with you guys. So please take these things to heart. So this is going to be the fun part. We're going to be double testing. Now you guys can just relax other than you're going to have your arms out here. We're going to test just in little sections. So we'll do 3 things at a time. So for example, the first one we'll go is I love myself, I approve of myself, and I accept myself. Now, on a conscious level, you might think, oh, I would probably test strong, and that's all true. But on a subconscious level, we'll get to see what's going on for you guys. And we won't do any weird, embarrassing stuff, but that's what we're going to start out with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to test those things. You're going to see they're weak or they're strong. Maybe they'll be strong on all of them. And then I'm literally going to have them breathe, and we're going to kind of clear that energy and kind of switch that energy, okay?
Okay, say them again.
So I will say them, and you'll just be, so let's go ahead and start. So your arms will be up here.
Okay.
And so we're going to say, I love myself.
I love
I
myself.
love myself.
Okay. And I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And I approve of myself.
I approve of myself. I can't do it.
See,
Sorry.
she can feel it. She can feel it. So on a conscious level, sometimes we are aware. We're aware. We're going to clear that right now, okay? So I'm going to clear it for you. Take a deep breath. Okay, and I think you went weak a little, so take a deep breath. He was pretty strong on the first, but you saw a little change. Let's just do it again, okay? So, and you can say it out loud if you want, or you can just let me say it. Either way is fine. So I love myself.
I love myself.
I approve of myself.
I approve of myself.
And I accept myself.
I accept myself.
So see that? They had a little give, but
Better.
subconsciously we fight those things, guys. And my mind went somewhere else, but I'll share it with you later because we got so much stuff. All right, let's do a few more. Timekeeper, how are we on time? We doing good? Let's see. Yeah, we're doing awesome. We got time. Let's do some more. Okay. All right. Thomas is like, really? Now this is awesome because we cleared that.
Do you want to have them switch places so they have different armor?
Would you like? Do you need to do that, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay, he's like, "Oh, gee."
He's like, give me a chance.
Gary
We'll,
was here too.
we'll see if it works on the left arm and the right arm.
Oh.
All right, let's do. I'm just trying to decide. All right, let's go there. Let's go there. We'll be all right. So we did. I love myself. I accept myself. I approve myself. Approve myself. Sometimes we don't feel worthy of those things. How does that affect your relationship? When you don't feel worthy of love. When my husband did not think that I loved him, I can bet money if I knew how to do energy healing at that time and I did energy work on him that he was not feeling worthy of love. Because I loved him, guys. Maybe I didn't show it in the best way. We had our problems, but what we believe in our minds, especially on a subconscious level, affects our relationships with other people. But we can work on it. We can improve, right? So let's check you guys out. These guys are being super vulnerable. I appreciate this. All right, here we go. I am worthy of love.
I am worthy of love.
I'm worthy of acceptance.
I'm worthy of acceptance.
And I'm worthy of approval.
I'm worthy of approval.
Okay, so you both had a little bit of stuff there. Okay, let's let that go. And we get hugs. This is cool. That's the tough stuff, I promise.
I have to hug
Oh,
the heart.
Oh, good. We get to do a heart thing with your spouse here in a few minutes because we're talking about energy. So we're going to get to send love to our spouse, okay, through their heart. So let's test it again because we cleared that stuff, you guys. I am worthy of love.
I'm worthy of love.
I'm worthy of acceptance.
I'm worthy of acceptance.
And I'm worthy of approval.
I'm worthy of approval.
And I shut my eyes because I'm like feeling the energy. So if you think I'm weird, that's how I feel the energy is. I feel it. I don't see it. But I want you to go ahead and say, I'm worthy of love.
Just a minute. I am worthy of love.
Yes, you are. You are worthy, okay? Yeah. Okay, tender moment, guys. Let's do some money stuff. Money's fun. We'll just do a few more. These guys are awesome. I really appreciate their help. Do we need to trade arms again?
These guys get tickets for the drawings, right? For doing this, they get extra tickets.
Oh, sure. We'll see how that goes. Does anybody have Kleenexes? Boy, that was not on my list. And name tags, well, it crossed my brain, but sorry.
Suitcase.
There's some.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. There we go.
Starters, that's kind of neat. Thank you.
I'm married to the husband that cries. You think I'd bring some Kleenex?
I'm ready to hug him.
All right, I'll prep you guys. So the next ones we're going to test is I am wealthy. So wealth is not just money, right? We might feel wealthy in our relationships, in our families. So I am wealthy. Now this is a good one. It's okay with God for me to have money. And then the next one will be I am worthy to have money. So it's back to that worthy again. So if you're ready, you'll just repeat after me.
Okay.
I'm wealthy.
I'm wealthy.
Very good. It's okay with God for me to have money.
It's okay with God for me to have money.
Very good. And I am worthy to have money.
I am worthy to have money.
Wow, gee, you guys are awesome. So, and their brains, they're pretty good on those things. So let's do just a few more. My opinion matters. Others value what I have to offer. This is the best one. I let go of the fear of other people's judgment. Do you guys all think you would pass on that one? It's a pretty common one that we really fear judgment. And boy, does that come into play in our marriage relationships, right? And that's a whole other topic. We won't go there. But let's go ahead. We'll test these. So my opinion matters.
My opinion
Um,
matters.
others value what I have to offer.
Others value what I have to offer.
Yeah, I think you're weak. I let go of the fear of other people's judgment.
I let go of the fear of other people's judgment.
Okay, and you're pretty strong on that. But we're kind of weak on a few, so go ahead. Okay. All right, we'll test again. These are not quite as emotional as the first ones, right? So, my opinion matters.
My opinion matters.
Yes, it does. Others value what I have to offer.
Others value what I have to offer.
Yes, they do. And I let go of the fear of judgment of other people.
I let go of the fear of judgment of other people.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And Amy, I would like you to choose one of those kisses thingies over there as a special thank you
Oh.
for being vulnerable. And so we're going to give them some chocolate kisses to thank them.
you. Purple's my favorite color. May I?
Oh, so purple.
Thank you.
All right.
You got silk.
Thank you.